Hello, I found a sermon here called The Strategy of Satan by Tony Evans, and I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but you can watch it for yourself, basically saying that we're all on a journey, and the better you understand the map, which is the Bible, the better you'll understand the strategy of Satan. So yeah.
What you think about the map will affect how well you do on the journey. You might decide to ball it up and put it in your pocket and ignore that it's there. Or you might decide to look at it but not pay attention to it.
So he kind of goes on about some basic stuff here.
The personnel, they want to become fully acquainted with the group they want to destroy. Satan has game film on you. You got game film. You've been assigned a demon. And that demon knows your every move. He knows your every moment. He knows your orientation. He knows your sensitivities. He knows your inclinations. That demon understands you. And so there is a report on you.
Okay, so basically what he's stating also compares to God. God has film on you. He's recording every little tiny thing you do. God is, and also Satan. You've been assigned a demon. I'm not sure if this is some sort of each person is assigned a specific personal demon, but the demon and Satan also know exactly what you're doing along with God. They both have a VHS tape of all your actions.
Me and us. So there is a tailor-made strategy
Tailor-made.
to do you in.
Tailor-made strategy. Is this for all humankind? Is this for each person? How do I tell? How do I know these invisible forces at work in my life? And if they're tailor-made for me, how can I oppose them? What can I do? Do I have to go back to the Bible? How is it my understanding of the Bible that helps me defeat this? How do I know?
Even as a believer, to defeat you and to bring negative consequences into your life. You're on tape, spiritually speaking.
Okay, so spiritually, they have a spiritual tape of me. Okay.
Slithery than any of the other creatures God had made. So when Satan wanted to make his move, he chose something that would be consistent with what he wanted to achieve. He wanted to achieve craftiness, so he chose a crafty creature. Satan knows what to choose and who to choose.
I mean, here's a quick statement I wrote down here, comment. If you believe that invisible forces are at work, how do you know which is what and which is which? This means you have to accept there is no free will. You cannot decipher what force is trying to control or tempt you, leading to complete insanity. You can say, well, I just know it's this or that, but how can you test it? Is this just based on an emotional, personal response, or is it based in reality and testing on how you determine if it was good or bad spirit or invisible force? Are there different levels of demons? Does Satan give the recording to other lower tier demons? What about angels? Is it the same for angels? He's super crafty. How am I as a human being ever supposed to know these crafty creatures among me that are invisible?
As long as you don't have a relationship with the Lord. He don't mind God talk. He doesn't mind invocations and benedictions. As long
Invocations.
as there's no relationship with God in between. He doesn't mind that. The creature that Satan used to bring death and consequences to Eve and then Adam and then the human race was a creature over whom man and woman were to rule.
So he knows for a fact, just because the Bible says that actual Satan used a snake. Okay. Somehow he's confirmed this.
And watch this. And the creature was good. Because the Bible says whatever God created in chapter 1 was good. So at this point, the snake's not bad. Which means that the strategy is to use something good to create something bad.
Anything good in the world can be used against you, I'm guessing. You know, I've heard this type of similar thing before.
He doesn't go find something bad because there's nothing bad to find other than him. So Satan finds something good that men and women should have been over, and he uses something good to bring something bad.
See, so you can never be sure.
And isn't that how it works in our lives? It starts off looking good.
Like, this is just how life is. Things are good, things get bad. Things get good again, you know?
But once infiltrated with his purposes...
So, I mean, you could say this about anything. You're in a great relationship, a great marriage, a great job, and then all of a sudden something happens and stuff goes to heck. You lose your job, you lose your girlfriend, lose your wife, lose your man, you know, lose an arm, lose your sanity. Your sanity. I mean, anything can be an excuse for the devil infiltrating your life and your spirit with his specific strategy, his Satan's strategic strategy, and you just never know. You live in the gray, so anything around the corner can be the devil's work. This is the insanity you have to accept. I mean, he probably goes on and on and on. I didn't watch this whole thing, but I mean, you can just see the endless apologetics and endless excuses you can convince yourself of how bad things are happening in your life. You might as well go to a psychic reading or get some tarot cards done. It's the same thing. If this stuff is at work, right, and you know there's a tailor-made strategic plan of Satan and blah blah blah, and you can never trust your senses, and you go down this huge rabbit hole of insanity, and like, where's free will at if you can't determine anything is real or not, or your decisions? It makes it a lot easier to blame other groups or other agendas of people you don't like, other denominations. You can easily make this excuse that, oh, it's Satan is at work. Look, Satan's at work. I mean, this is just another apologetic I hear all the time. I mean, please, Christians, weigh in. How do I determine the tears of demons, the tears of angels, if it's good or bad? Do I have to circle back to the Bible every time and get an apologetic? What real world testing do I need? And do you, as a Christian and as a believer, or as, you know, a Muslim or anyone else, do you use this excuse in, like, say, the workplace? Go to your boss or the CEO and say, hey, this shelving unit fell over and we lost a bunch of product, but we've determined that it was the work of the devil, sir. So we're sorry, but that's the conclusion we've come up with. I mean, that's not going to fly in the real world. I mean, are you separating this from your personal life compared to actual reality in the real world? Like, please, leave a comment. How do I determine this? How do you rationalize this? I'm really confused.